In this video, I'm going to show you a no BS guide to actually making a personal brand on YouTube that sells, that actually makes money. There's so many YouTubers out there who have 100,000 subs, 1 million subs that are making less money than me with 400 subs. And I know what you're probably thinking. Who is this guy to actually tell us how to grow a personal brand? He hasn't even done it for himself. Look at this idiot, this grifter, scammer, all the buzzwords that you're going to use in the comments. Give me 1 second and I'll show you exactly who I am and why I am qualified to tell you how to do these things. This is without a doubt the best business model that there is available to you right now. If you don't have a personal brand and you have a business, then you're really missing out. And if you don't have a personal brand or a business, then you're missing out on just ridiculous amounts of money. Pretty much all the rich people out there right now are either already have a personal brand or are rapidly growing their personal brands on purpose because they understand that going into the future, the only trillionaires out there are going to be people with personal brands. And honestly, the richest people in the world right now all have personal brands. When you think about people like Elon Musk, you think about people like Donald Trump, and I'm going to show you how you can grow a brand, maybe not to Elon Musk level, but in a similar fashion that actually sells, that actually gets you money in your pocket and not just followers on a screen that mean absolutely nothing. Like I said, I'm going to show you why I'm actually qualified to give you this advice. Here's one of my channels to the left. It actually got banned for a reason that I still don't know. And I won't take too long on this because I'm sure many of you already know who I am, but just for the people who don't, pretty much the story is this channel on the left over here was close to 100K subs, got banned because I still don't know why, to be completely honest with you. The channel was completely clean, fully monetized, no warnings, no strikes, nothing. It just disappeared one day. And then I started this channel on the right, and within 3 weeks I got the numbers that you see on the screen right here, because this stuff doesn't happen by accident. I know what I'm doing. I know how to grow a channel, and in a few weeks you're going to see where this channel is, and you're going to be like, wow, that guy was serious. He actually knew what he was talking about. But as you can see, within 3 weeks I had 4 million long form views. These aren't shorts views, these aren't short steroids, these are actual views from long form content, and over 10,000 subscribers. And you can see that the revenue was only $394 because I wasn't even monetized yet on the channel. That's how you know that it was a brand new channel up until that point. And I've also grown some brands and helped people with their brands. This is me right here with Justin Waller. Look at those back muscles. I know they're looking really nice. That's me right there. I did some stuff for Justin Waller, and you can see he has 348,000 subscribers. I'm sure most of you out there know who Justin Waller is, but if you don't, go check him out. He makes some really good content. I did some stuff for Justin Waller, as you can see on the screen right there, and helped him to grow to 348,000 subscribers. Did my little part, and obviously it was mostly him, but I just did my little part in that whole story. And I also let Coach, somebody who I grew his channel from 0 to 33,000 subscribers in just 6 weeks, as well as revived one of his other channels that was pretty much stagnant, pretty much dying, and got it to where it's thriving once again. Let me let Coach tell you what I did for him.
Within 6 weeks of this channel, I reached 33,000 subscribers and already have over 2.5 million views. So thank you to Justin. Can he help you? Without question.
Yes, I can 100% help you. And just for one more example, I'm not going to bore you too much with these examples, but you know you have to do this for the people who are like, oh, who is this guy to tell me how I can grow my personal brand and actually make money? Well, here you go right here. Here is Sonny, one of my clients inside of my program, one of many that are getting results just like this one. Already made 2 sales this week after implementing the ads Justin told me to run on YouTube, $4,500 cash collected. And he also went from $30,000 to $70,000 in just 1 month after implementing the systems that I'm literally going to show you in this video on how to grow a personal brand on YouTube that actually makes you money, that doesn't just have followers going up on a screen to give you some dopamine hits, but puts money in your bank account. That's exactly what I'm going to show you. Now, this guide is geared towards online coaches and agency owners because that is who I help primarily, but you can use this for any business or use it as a business if you want to. If you really want to, I don't recommend it, but you can use your personal brand as your business. You can just use, YouTube AdSense as your primary source of revenue. I don't recommend it, but you can do that. If you want to use this video and just use it to grow a personal brand that is your business, totally fine. I highly recommend you use this to grow an existing business or start an external business and use your personal brand to grow that business. But if done correctly, this will allow you to create a monopoly on whatever niche you are in, because let's face it, whatever niche you're in is probably extremely saturated. There's so many people on the internet nowadays that it's going to be super hard to find a niche that's actually not saturated. So you're going to have to make a personal brand that really stands out from the rest of your niche, whether that's on YouTube, whether that's a brick and mortar business, whatever the case is, it's going to be saturated. And the only way that you can possibly stick out is if you make a personal brand that really sticks out to whatever your target audience is. And if you're able to create a monopoly in whatever niche that you're in, because you do your branding correctly, you will be able to live your dream life that you've always wanted to live. I choose rich every time. So I've had a taste of kind of being a little bit famous and kind of being a little bit rich. I'm not going to lie and say that I was super famous or super rich. I've been around a lot of people who have been both, and Literally every single one hates their life if they're just famous and not rich. And I haven't seen a single rich person who's not famous that isn't like extremely happy. Now, obviously, nowadays it kind of comes hand in hand. Like, you're going to have some notoriety if you're rich, because most people who are rich do it through a personal brand nowadays. But we need to focus on making money. Like, that's what this whole guide is geared around. It's not just growing a brand to grow a brand. Like I've said a million times, and I'm going to continue to say it, this is about making a brand that's going to make you money. And like I said, I choose rich every single time over being famous. You can use this advice to max out getting rich or getting famous. I highly recommend you use this to grow an existing business and not make this your business. You'll be able to make a lot more money with a lot less followers if you do it that way. I've made almost $20,000 this past month, and I only had 200 YouTube subscribers. And like I said, there's probably people with hundreds of thousands, not probably, I know for a fact there's people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers who are making less money than me, which is just absolutely ridiculous. It's a travesty. And to be honest with you, I used to be one of those people on my older channels. Figure out who you are is step number one. So here we're getting into the actual strategy on how you can grow your brand and how to actually start living that dream life that you've always wanted to live. Actually blow up your business in the way that it deserves to be blown up. Like, just take a second before we even get into the strategy and just imagine what it would be like for your coaching business, for your agency, for whatever kind of business you have, to actually create a monopoly in your niche to where you're not cold emailing people, you're not cold DMing people, you're not doing cold reach out anymore. People are coming to you. And every single lead that you get is basically ready to buy because you had your personal brand set up that they know everything about your business already. You don't need to convince anyone on the sales call. You don't even need to convince people, because there's so many people out there who are cold DMing, cold emailing, who have to convince people to even get on a sales call. Do you realize how miserable that life is and how much you're trading? That's like bottom of the barrel, trading time for money. We need to get out of that mindset of trading time for money is okay unless you're getting stupid amounts of money. Like, if you're getting 300K for an hour, okay, yeah, you should probably trade some time for money. But if you're just cold emailing and cold DMing 10,000 times a day, trying to convince people to get on a sales call, man, you're wasting so much of your time, which that resource is so much more valuable than money could ever be. And you need to stop doing that. Here's how you do it. Before you start making your content, you need to figure out your avatar. Don't make something up. Just get really, really clear about who you are and how you want to come off to your audience. So you don't want to like act like you're somebody you're not. You don't want to act like you're Andrew Tate when you're someone like Ethan Klein. Like, you don't want to be a nerdy guy trying to come off as like this super bravado filled guy like Andrew Tate. You just want to be exactly who you are, like who you are as a person, and just really, really lean into that. And I'm a Christian that will tell you the cold hard truth to make you better, even if that makes you feel bad short term. And long form is better than short form content. So if you don't know who I am, I'm a very straightforward person. Obviously, like I said there, I'm a Christian. I lean into that quite a bit within my program and within my YouTube videos. And a lot of my content is centered around long form content being better than short form content. Not saying that you shouldn't use short form content for a certain purpose, to serve a certain purpose, which is to drive people back to your long form. I just think in the future, long form content is 100% going to be king over short form content, because it's so hard to sell people on short form content. Short form is like the epitome of simply chasing dopamine, simply wanting the numbers to go up. And long form content is for the people who actually want to make money. Long form content is for the people like Elon Musk, like Donald Trump, like Tai Lopez, like the people out there, Graham Stephan, like everybody out there who is making a lot of money off the internet. They're not doing it off shorts. They might use shorts to get people in the door, but they all have 2-hour, 3-hour long podcasts. They're all doing long live streams because they know that's what makes money. That's what really puts money in your bank account. And there's so many people out there who are just chasing the cheap dopamine of shorts and reels, and it's just so dumb. Everything you post needs to reflect the avatar that you created for yourself. So get really clear about your avatar, and then the next step is going to be, what is your expertise? Most people out there, whenever they first start a brand, they think they can just start vlogging their daily life and people will care. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't give a shit what you're doing in your daily life. I don't care about watching what time you wake up and brush your teeth in the morning. I don't care. Can you provide me some sort of value? That's the only way that I will ever watch one of your videos. Why are you watching this video right now? Is it because you care about what Justin does in his daily life? Do you care about what I'm going to do later today? No, you care about how I can provide you value. And that's the cold hard truth that you have to just come to terms with. Like, that doesn't offend me that you don't care. I don't care what you're doing in the rest of your day. But if you made a video on how to make $1 million tomorrow, I'm going to watch that video. And eventually, if I continue to watch your videos, you continue to provide me value, I'm eventually going to end up liking you as a person. And then I will care about what you're doing in your daily life. You have to start out by providing value. Figure out what you know that most people want to know, or what you have done that most people want to do. And that's how you start off, by providing value. Most people out there haven't grown multiple YouTube channels, with the snap of a finger to 50K, 100K subs. Most people haven't worked with people like Justin Waller. Most people haven't, had their clients get results like I've shown you earlier on in this video, and like we get every single day within the community of my program. Most people aren't able to do that. I have studied this stuff since I was literally 12 years old, trying my absolute best to grow a YouTube channel, to grow a personal brand. I couldn't do it. So I did so much research. I actually stepped away from making content for a year after I already had 10,000 subs on my first channel, the one that ended up getting banned. I stepped away for a year and just researched. Just what am I doing wrong? What could I do better? And I came back and gained like 60K subs in like 3 months. Like, it was ridiculous. And now I'm doing that pretty much at will with all of my clients. And it's a great feeling, but you have to figure out what that is for you. And it could be something so niche. It could be, I use gardening as an example all the time. Like, you might be great at gardening. Do you know how hard it is to actually like have a successful gardening experience? There's so many people out there who would pay you money to teach them how to garden. You just have to figure out what you're good at, and people will pay you to do it if it's something that, people actually value, if it's something that people actually are chasing after, and that's actually difficult to do. And also if you're good at doing it. Start off by making long form videos teaching people how to do those things, and make sure you're adding copious amounts of value. This will get you an initial audience, and it can serve as a starting point for your business if you don't have one. So basically what I mean by that is, if you're once again good at gardening and you want to make videos on teaching people how to garden, well, there you go. There's your business idea. You start a gardening coaching business where you charge people $5,000, and I will guarantee to make you a successful garden within 60 days or 90 days or however long it takes to make a successful garden. But then after we add the value, like I said, the end goal is to make a brand that can sell to absolutely anybody. And to do that, these people have to know who you are. We want to make a monopoly over whatever niche that you're in, or in your little circle of that niche. Like, obviously, we're not going to have a monopoly on every single niche that we go into, but we want to have a circle that belongs to us. And we want that circle to be very, very large. Most people are trying to get everybody in a certain space. Like most gardeners, they would make a gardening YouTube channel and try to capture every single gardener out there. But the smart ones, the ones who are going to make 100K, 200K a month, they're only going to go after their tribe of people. They're only going to go after the Christian gardeners who make no BS videos on how to actually garden, and they're going to tell you the cold hard truth, no matter how much it offends you. That's the gardeners that are going to really be successful, rather than just the person who makes gardening videos with no like specialization, no real targeting. While adding value to the people watching, you need to let them know who you really are, not by telling them, but just by being that thing. Tell your audience your beliefs, be authentic 100% of the time, and the more polarizing, the better. If your content is for everyone, your content is for no one. So basically, the point that I was trying to make earlier is, if you walk into a room and there's 100 people in there, it's going to be a lot easier if you're only targeting 10 people in that room to sell those 10 people than it would be to sell even 10 people if you were targeting all 100 people in that room. So if you specialize in one thing, and to make this even simpler and put it into simpler terms, somebody who is a brain surgeon isn't going to do surgery on someone's stomach. But if someone is a brain surgeon and you need brain surgery, you're 100% going to that brain surgeon, and you're not going to go to a gastro surgeon or whatever that's called to do surgery on your stomach. I don't even know. But another example, if you're a sports guy, is someone's not going to try to get good if they want to go pro in a sport at boxing, football, baseball. They're not going to do all of that. They're not even going to try to play all the positions if they're playing baseball. They're going to pick one position and get really good at that position. Or in football, that's why you don't see someone like Travis Hunter or like Deion Sanders who can play wide receiver and corner at the same time in the same games. Most people pick one specialization and they get really good at that thing, because that's how you make a lot of money in life. That's not just personal brand. That's not just online. That's in every facet of life. The more specialized you are, the more easy it is, especially when you're first starting out. Like a brain surgeon who's extremely good at brain surgery can maybe, I don't even know if this is true, but can maybe eventually go back to school, start being a cardiovascular surgeon. Eventually, once they're really good at brain surgery, but the best course of action is to just get really good at brain surgery and then market yourself as a brain surgeon only, and then people who need brain surgery will go to you. Now let's get into the strategy of actually making a brand on YouTube. So your home base needs to be YouTube. YouTube is the best platform for making a personal brand, and I don't care what you have to say. I don't care what refutable evidence you have against that. YouTube is the best place, and it will continue to make a monopoly on that space, on actually making money. I'm not saying just getting followers. It's easier on other platforms for sure, but actually making money, YouTube is the best place to do it. And it's not just because of AdSense, it's because of how people are able to fall in love with you, to actually feel like they found their tribe, they found one of their own through your content. Like this probably is going to be like an hour-long video or something like that, something crazy. I'm not posting hour-long videos on TikTok, on Instagram. And you only have to watch 7 hours of someone's content. There's a study done that shows that you only have to watch 7 hours of someone's content to really know, like, and trust the person. Do you know how many reels you have to watch 7 hours of content? I don't even want to do that math. That's a lot of reels. YouTube converts sales like no other platform unless people see who you truly are. To grow on YouTube, all you have to do is master the 5 T's of YouTube. So let's get into what the 5 T's of YouTube actually are. Topics, titles, thumbnails, timing, and tenacity. I've already done an in-depth guide on the 5 T's already. I've actually done multiple of them, but I think the pinned video on my channel actually goes super in-depth if you want to get a really in-depth guide on the 5 T's, but I will give you some surface level sauce here. Just for time's sake, I'm not going to go in-depth on all 5 T's, plus a lot of you have probably already seen the prior videos that I've done on that. The first 4 T's, you can study other people's channels within your niche, master them, steal like a YouTuber. So there's a very, very common saying in the YouTube world, steal like a YouTuber. And so many people feel some sort of way whenever I tell them, just go and find the best channels in your niche and go copy their topics, titles, thumbnails, and timing. Go copy those things. And boom, now you have a successful channel, or at least a channel that is successful on the surface. Now you actually have to go out and make some good, valuable content to go along with the topics, titles, thumbnails, and timing. But so many people feel a certain way, man. There's no original ideas on YouTube anymore. Everybody who you're copying off of has gotten their ideas from somebody else. And eventually you can make your own lane. Like, you don't have to copy them forever. It's just, if you want to skip the years and years that it would take to actually find out how to make good topics, titles, thumbnails, and timing, you can just go use somebody else's, and you know, the blueprint is already there, man. Success leaves clues. Go ahead and just copy them. And like I said, steal like a YouTuber, but really study why those things work so that you can eventually make your own lane sometime in the future. Tenacity is the hard one to copy. It's really hard to go to other people's content and, you know, take their tenacity, which is basically, it's mindset, you know, but I wanted it to be a 5th T, so I named it tenacity. It's mindset. You have to have a certain mindset. You have to have it in you. Everybody who is successful at building a brand on YouTube had a period of grinding. You have to just accept that this can take some time, especially if you don't want to hire a mentor. If you're a coach or agency owner, I do mentoring, and I have blown up people's channels. More importantly, though, I make them a ton of money off of YouTube with not that many subscribers. But if you don't want to buy a mentor, if you don't want to take the only shortcut in life that is actually having mentorship, then it's going to take time, and you have to accept that it could possibly take years. If you follow the steps that I give you in this video, it shouldn't take that long. But it's better to have the mindset that it could take that long, that it's a possibility, and be pleasantly surprised when in 6 months you actually blow up and start making a ton of money off of YouTube. But if you want to save yourself the time and book a call or DM me, I have been doing this since I was literally 12 years old, growing my brand and other people's brands. I have blown up many personal brands over the years, including my own. I only work with people who have a coaching business or are ready to start one today. If you have an agency, I'll also help you out as well. If that's you and you want to skip the years of trying to master the 5 T's and the rest of the game, book a call and make sure you bring your credit card, because I don't do charity work. But if you're ready to go and start generating leads, super high quality leads that are pre-sold today, go ahead and book a call or DM me on Instagram if you want to start right now. Let's get deeper behind the tenacity and the mindset that it takes to actually grow a personal brand that sells. Get ready to lock in and post multiple times a week for years with no views. For example, you know, on those channels that I showed you that were mine in the very beginning, I actually posted 3 times a day for like years on those channels, and I'm not even exaggerating. And I don't have a problem. Like, it was not hard for me. That was easy. I just accepted that that's the standard. You know, that wasn't a goal of mine. That was the standard, because I'm sure you've heard this before, but we fall to our standards. We don't rise to our goals. You know, so always make things a standard that you want to do every single day. Posting multiple times a day on those channels, literally 7 days a week, was something that nobody else was doing in the niche that I was in. I needed a way to get ahead, and that was my way. And it was really working well. And that was my standard that I set for myself. So I wouldn't allow myself to go a single day without posting at least 1 video. Sometimes on weekends, I would only post 1, but I would never skip a day. Ever. And if I did, I would beat myself up over it, and I would allow myself to beat myself up over it because I deserved it, because I dropped below my standards. If you actually follow this guide, it shouldn't take that long, but it could. Be prepared for a serious grind. You know, this stuff isn't easy. Nothing that's easy is worth doing in the first place. If it was easy, then everybody would do it, and it wouldn't be special. Like, you wouldn't be making a ton of money off of it, because everybody would have a personal brand. That's why this is worth doing, is because it's not easy. On the other side of the grind is the freedom that you have been waiting for. A true true monopoly over the niche that is yourself, a true monopoly in the circle that you create for yourself within your niche. And that's the key to the actual life that you want. Like the actual freedom that you want is behind a personal brand. The cave that scares you to enter is the one that has the treasures that you seek. And the cave in this analogy is a personal brand. So many people are so shy when it comes to making content on YouTube. If you actually have an expertise, then you shouldn't be shy about it, especially if you're already an online coach. If you're already a coach or agency owner, act like you're on a coaching call. But if you have any sort of expertise, I mean, you shouldn't feel a certain type of way about telling people how to do it. You know, I feel fully confident when I get on the camera, when I get on these videos, because I know what I'm talking about. And I've had the results for myself and other people over and over and over again that I've shown to myself and everybody else that I know what I'm doing. So I have no problems getting on the camera and telling you exactly what to do, because I know that I can do it. And if you have an expertise like that, you should have the same confidence in yourself. Who cares what other people think? The only person that matters is yourself. At the end of your life, you'll look back on this moment and be either proud that you took the leap or regret that you never did. Now, Justin Waller, who is, like I said, I worked for him, but he's also one of my mentors, and he says this one thing that really stuck with me. He calls it the rocking chair test, and I think it's a really, really good way of looking at things and making certain decisions. And basically, he talks about being in a rocking chair when all he can do, you know, he's old, he's worn out, he's an old man, he's just chilling in a rocking chair, and all you can do is look back on the decisions that you made in life. All you can do is reminisce at that point. Just imagine thinking back whenever you want to make a decision such as this one. Should I start a personal brand? Should I book a call with Justin? Whatever the case is, just imagine you're sitting in that rocking chair and you're looking back on this moment and you're like, damn, I should have took that leap. I should have done it. I should have started a personal brand. I could have been so rich. I could have actually achieved the life that I've always wanted. But instead, I chose the safe route, and I chose to just work that 9-to-5 job forever. And I never ended up achieving the freedom that I truly wanted in life. Imagine being in the rocking chair and thinking that. The way that I make all my decisions is I think about myself in that rocking chair. And if there's any doubt that I could be regretting the decision that I'm going to be making, that I could be sitting in that rocking chair with regret on my mind, then I choose the other way every single time. It doesn't matter how risky it is. The worst risk in life is choosing to sit in that rocking chair and experience regret. That's the last thing that I would ever want for myself or for you. So if you're thinking about taking the leap and starting this personal brand, whether that's booking a call with me or just doing it on your own, whatever you do, just don't allow yourself to regret the decision that you make today. But here is the master key to all of this. If you don't have this, you will not be successful. Your brand won't sell, and your brand probably won't even grow at all unless you're providing like ridiculous amounts of value to people. But authenticity is the key to everything. And for most people, it's actually the hardest part of this. Most people turn into a script reading robot whenever the camera's on, but authenticity is what makes people know, like, and trust you and willing to buy whatever it is that you're selling. And this goes for anybody, whether it's a coach, agency owner, brick and mortar. If you're able to make people know, like, and trust you, they'll buy literally whatever you're selling because they know, like, and trust you. They know that you're a good person. They trust you as a person. They trust your judgment. And if they like you, then they will end up buying your product and trust that it will get them whatever desired result that they want. And without being authentic, none of this works. None of the advice that I've given you in this video will work at all if you're not authentic in your content. It might take some time. You know, we have some frameworks within my program that really helps people out quite a bit, but it could take you some time to be authentic. That's normal. You're not like it doesn't come natural to most people whenever they hop in front of a camera to be super authentic on the camera. It's not really a natural thing for most people, but it's 100% a skill that you must acquire if you want to be successful at making money with a personal brand. And believe it or not, millions of people think the same exact way that you do. When those people find you, they need to feel like they have found their tribe. So the reason why being authentic is so key is because whenever you are authentic, like I am, you know, myself, when I talk about being a Christian or the fact that I give super hard advice to people and sometimes it offends them, but then, you know, a couple of days later, they'll come back to me and be like, yeah, you know, you're right. You know, I should have done that a long time ago whenever you told me to. And also like the fact that I kind of trash on short form content in favor of long form content. Those are all just parts of my videos that I show of myself being really authentic, being really polarizing. Not only do I say what I like, but I say what I don't like. I don't like soft people. They piss me off. Whenever I give people advice and instead of motivating them, because I always do it because I want better for the person. Whenever I give people advice and instead of motivating them, it makes them all sad and they put their head down and they never ever do anything about it. It pisses me off, man. Like, you're wasting your life away. Imagine yourself in that rocking chair in this moment, you know, reminiscing on this moment, and instead of taking the advice that I'm giving you, you act like it made you sad. it makes you more depressed and you don't take action. That stuff pisses me off. You know, people need to take more action, and that's polarizing. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, listen to this asshole. He thinks he knows better than everybody else. And that's fine if you think that way. I don't want you around, because I'm here because this is a business for me. And if you're someone who isn't going to like me eventually whenever I show my true colors, I might as well do that up front so that we don't waste our time on a sales call, so that we don't waste our time with you joining my program, giving me money, and then being a horrible client and not actually doing the things that I'm telling you to do, because it's going to better you overall. It's going to blow up your personal brand and make you a ton of money. I'd rather you up front know that you don't know, like, and trust me, so that we don't waste our time. You know, and that's the mindset that you should have. If people aren't going to like you, then they're not going to like you, and it doesn't really matter. But if people aren't going to like you because you're being yourself, trust me, there's a ton of people out there who will like you for that same reason. Trust me, there's millions of people out there who will like you for that same reason, and you just have to trust me on that one. If you're providing value and being authentic, the person watching wants your help and trusts you as part of their tribe, then they're sold. At that point, they will buy whatever you're selling. You don't need a sales call. You don't need to convince them whenever they do get on the sales call. At that point, they're sold. If they like you, if they trust that what you're saying is authentic, and they feel like you're part of their tribe, and they feel like they're part of your tribe, and they like what you're selling, and they feel like you can provide them value with whatever you're selling or provide them the desired result, then they're sold. But right there, like, there's no need for a sales call at that point. And I know people who are making, you know, 6 figures a month, high 6 figures a month, who have less than 5,000 subscribers, who don't take sales calls. They just do DM closes because their content does all the selling. And how you do that is by following the advice that I give, not just in this video, but on my entire channel. And at that point, they're sold completely. Here's how to be authentic though. Stop using scripts as a crutch. So many people, like I said, hop on the camera and turn into script reading robots. Stop doing that. Just stop writing scripts, write out bullet points like I'm doing somewhat in this video, and stop being a script reading robot. Stop caring what people think. They're jealous because they don't have the courage to take the leap that you did. The only difference between you and them is that they'll be sitting in the rocking chair at the end of their life, looking back on this moment and being jealous of you because you actually took the leap that they are too scared to take. And you're making a personal brand that's going to make you rich, and they're not doing anything but working their dead-end job that isn't going to get them anything except for some stability in life. Fully embrace who you are and who you chose your avatar to be. So don't ever switch up on it. Don't get shy. Don't be inauthentic. Fully embrace that avatar that you chose in the very beginning of this video. Trust the process. It can be slow, but it will 100% work for you eventually, and you just have to trust that. It will 100% work. I've done this for so many different people. I've done it for myself. These things work. These formulas that I give in this video and on my entire channel, they work, man. And I wouldn't be putting them on YouTube and risking my business if they didn't work. And here's the strategy when it comes to other platforms. So we're not just going to post on YouTube and just disregard all the other platforms. That'd be kind of silly. We do want to use them just to funnel everybody back into YouTube. So you want to repurpose your YouTube content to make short form content on Instagram and TikTok, make reels, make shorts, and make some TikToks. Funnel everyone back into YouTube from those platforms. Make sure your brand on all those platforms matches the avatar that you chose in the very beginning of this video and matches the avatar that you kind of portray within your YouTube videos, which should be just a kind of exaggerated, or not even exaggerated, just a very, very clear version of who you truly are. So that whenever you do attract people into your tribe, you're not just acting like they found their tribe. Like, they're not just thinking, they're not fooled. They really have found their tribe. Like, whenever I recruit people into my program, they really come into that room, that community, and they're like, dude, I really have found my tribe, and there's no better feeling for me than that feeling. Like, especially because I feel like I'm a part of it, you know? It feels like my tribe in there, and I just love that feeling so much. YouTube is the home base. Other platforms are just more for social proof and to interact and sell via DM. So if you're a DM closer, if you're a DM seller, or you just need to have a place for people to ask you questions about whatever it is that you're selling, you can do that through Instagram. That's a great way of doing it. And it can also, if they want to DM you on there and you have a great Instagram with a lot of followers, a good aesthetic, all those things, it could further sell them because it's further social proof. And that's a high level overview of how to grow your personal brand that actually sells. There's a ton of videos out there showing you how to grow a YouTube channel, how to grow an Instagram account. They're all just trying to get followers, cheap followers, as fast as possible. This video is showing you how to grow a personal brand that sells, that makes you money. And that is how a lot of people are going to make their first million in 2024. So hopefully this video helped you out. Hopefully you did learn how to grow a personal brand that really makes you money. Once again, if you do want to book a call all, the link will be in the description, or you can DM me on Instagram if you want to go ahead and join the program. But hopefully, even if you choose to not do any of those things, hopefully this did provide you a good amount of value, enough for you to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully enough for you to actually go watch some of my content. And I hope to see you on the next video.